Hey y'all, this is Heavy for Caliber again, coming at you. Just got back from the range with my son. Had a really good time. On this particular gun right here, TACOPS, we put 200 more rounds through it for a total of 414. Totally perfect, flawless, no issues whatsoever. I am very impressed with Sig. Truly, truly impressed. So, basic cleaning video today. Gun is filthy. I don't know if you can tell that or not, but it is. What you want to do is make sure the gun's unloaded. Of course, the mag is out. Let's see, block this to the back. Look inside. There's nothing in there, so we're good to go. And to my left is a concrete foundation wall that has dirt outside of it. To this side of me is also the same type of wall with dirt. I'm in the basement. We're good to go. So safe direction is out of the way. So, all right. Perfect rounds, perfect range trip, quality time with my son. So we're gonna clean. So breakdown of a 1911 is as follows. You see, let me get a pointer for you guys. Hang on a second. Let me get a pointer so I can at least show you reasonably without putting my finger in the way there for you. Sorry about that. Okay. Now, right here is the slide lock notch that interacts with this right here. When the frame locks to the rear, that goes in there like that. So for takedown, we don't worry about that, okay? What we're worried about for takedown is this other notch, which is right here, okay? And one good thing I like that is different on Sig 1911s from others is there's a really strong bevel on the bottom of the slide right there. And it makes getting this back in for reassembly much easier. So anyway, what we're going to do is on the back side here, right here is the pin that goes through the barrel link and the frame. It ties the barrel to the frame and lets it cam when this slide is cycling. So we're going to push on that button once we get to that point, and I'll show you that in just a minute, okay? So right now the hammer's back. We know the gun's unloaded. Ammunition's not on my table. That's all free and clear. So that's step one. No ammo. Make sure the gun's empty. So hammer's back. Engage the thumb safety so it keeps the slide from moving on you, okay? You're going to put the gun down. I'm trying to get this on camera here. Put the gun down on the table with the beaver tail and this part of the gun just resting down like that, okay? Put it down, put your hand on the gun, your finger up here, okay? You're gonna press on that plunger right there, okay? It's a recoil spring plug. It takes pressure off of this bushing right here, okay? You wanna turn the bushing clockwise, all right? Still holding pressure right here. It's just got a lot of pressure on it. So take both hands and relieve pressure on that, okay? Relieve pressure on that. See that? Let it come up. Put that down. It's off to the side there. This is your recoil spring, which by the way is flat wire. This is a really nice touch that Sig put in there. I like it. It's smoother operation. Anyway, back to the gun. We're not doing a review here. So now you can take off the thumb safety and start moving the slide to the rear, okay? I'm just holding the frame. And the slide at this point will move to the rear fairly easily, okay? So now I've lined up the notches exactly, okay? Right there. All right? And I'm now going to press on this button right here, okay? From this side, and I'll actually show the lever come out right there, okay? Now I'll push it as far as I can because the frame's stopping me. But that gives me just enough daylight to get my hand in here and just pull it out. It comes straight out, okay? Set that to the side, no problem. Now the barrel cam is free to move. There's a pin in there, so now the slide can come off the front of the gun. I'm not sure why it's not letting me do that, but there you go. This was holding me up right there. This is the dirty. This is the recoil guide rod, recoil spring guide rod, and my shock buff, that's supposed to be so tough, is toast already. So they didn't last long. That's fine. So you see, we're dirty. She's very dirty. So anyway, get the slide off the frame. Here's your slide. You see all the carbon in there, you know. So tilt your barrel length forward so it clears this. Okay, just pick it up off these notches right here. See these little channels, and just pull the barrel out of the frame. You know what? I didn't show you something. Okay, so the barrel's in, right? Now right in here, if you turn, right now your bushing is turned that way. You want to turn it the other direction to where you can see a little piece right in here. There's a little lug that turns into the frame, okay? So you want to get that to where it's in the opening where you can see it, and then that will let your bushing just slide straight out. Okay, it lets it come out of there. Sorry, I didn't show you that. So that should come out before you do the other step, if you want to. Don't have to. So lift the barrel out of the locking lugs right there in the frame, and then make sure your link is down and pull the barrel out. And there you go. Your barrel is now free of the slide, and the slide can be cleaned along with the barrel. So at this point, what I'll do before I even start on the frame at all, I want to get some, I use Gunzilla. You can use all kinds of stuff, doesn't matter. Hoppies number 9 or whatever bore cleaners you want to use, but I want to just spray the barrel down with this right here inside, and I want to put this aside along with this stuff and just let it soak, you know, let it sit, let it soak. As a matter of fact, I'll even spray in the slide here. Okay, don't spray back in here because you run the risk of getting oil inside the firing pin channel. I'll show you how to clean that in just a minute. So also, there's a good chance to show you. Here's that channel, okay? Right there is that channel with that locking lug there rides in. Is that a locking lug right there? That's what turns inside that channel. It locks it in place to hold it from coming apart when you're shooting it, when you're handling it. So anyway, spray in here just a little bit. Let it soak. So we're going to put this stuff here aside. Let it soak. Just wrap it up here. Move it out of the way. That's off to the side. It's getting happy while we're doing this. So now, I don't use Gunzilla to clean the frame. I'll just take Hoppies number 9 right here, and I'll take probably about 6 or 7 patches, and I'll soak them. I'll put them on top of the open bottle, and I'll just soak it. Okay. And this bottle's almost gone, so there you go. We're doing like a pre-soak on these patches. Love that smell, by the way. So now we got patches here, and I use a brush, okay, with these patches because it gives me a good access point to get in there and clean some channels out that I normally wouldn't be able to get with my hand, my finger. So you got your channels here. I'll just take and lay my patch down, take my short bristles, put it on the patch, and I'll just rub it right there in the channel. Boom. All right. All the carbon and stuff from shooting today, you know. Same thing with this side right here. Just rub it in there, rub it in here. This gets, you know, all the junk out of there, man. And then now for inside of here, I'll just use my finger because it's wide enough to get in there and get it. Though I just wipe everything down. clean the top of the frame rails. There's a lot of debris and things in there from shooting. That's fine. I also keep Q-tips around. It's handy to get in some places that are a little bit tight. You see right there, all that comes out. That's totally normal. It's just carbon from shooting, so nothing to be alarmed about. I'll even clean the slide lock hole right there that lets it pass through. And now I'll take one more patch. I'll put it here on top like this. I'll take my brush and grab a hold of it, and I'll just you know, use some friction and let the bristles grab a hold of the cloth and put it inside of there and get all that stuff out of there. That's a lot of dirt right there, buddy. A lot of dirt. This is from 200 rounds. This Magtech ammo, it's probably a little bit on the dirtier side than most ammo I've used, but it functioned great. Functioned really good. It's actually the lowest price ammo out there right now for 10 millimeter. It was like $13.95 a box at SG Ammo. That's a good deal for 10 mil. 180 grain, and according to Magtech's website, it's traveling at right at 1,200 feet per second, which is pretty good for practice ammo. It's not barn burner, but it's definitely better than Federal. I mean, Federal's so-called 10 millimeter ammunition is only like barely over 1,000 feet per second, and that's like shooting 40 caliber. I mean, as far as velocity goes, it's the same grain weight bullet and everything. So anyway, so what I'm doing here, you know, just look the gun over. You know, you don't need to spray anything inside the trigger. You know, I'm just cleaning off whatever residue I see there from shooting. Stuff's gonna, you know, ooze out of there from time to time. It's not really a big deal. I'm sure most 1911 guys will tell you they don't like seeing a bunch of dirt or oil all over their gun, but you know, I think 1911s like to run wet. They don't perform as well if they're bone dry, especially on the slide rails. They really need to be wet right there. So, all right. So all I'm doing now is just coming back. Let me get a clean patch right here. This is dry. And just come back in here, and I'll wipe down the oil and the solvent that I put in there, and we'll get rid of it for the most part. You know, I mean, you're not gonna get it spotless, but you're gonna get it to where it's pretty good and very functional. So now here, I'm gonna get down in this channel right here with some stuff. Yeah, I had a good day today. It was a fun time with my son. We haven't hung out in a while. And he was shooting his 450 Bushmaster. I wish I would have filmed that more to put on my channel to show you guys. He did wow. He had a great shot. He hit a dead bullseye at 100 yards with it. That thing it's a good gun, but he's a good shot, so he must take after his mom. Anyway, so this is getting good here. I think we're getting to where we're pretty good. Now this is the Series 80 style. Has a trigger safety right here. I'm gonna try to clean down there just a little bit with a Q-tip. There's a little lever right there. I'm just trying to get it behind it a little bit. Get some carbon out of there. You know, it's just one more place that carbon can get into because somebody wanted to make the gun safer, like it needed to be. You know. Anyway, so that's pretty good. I think that's, you know, we'll come back and get the oil and stuff off there in just a minute. But let me get one more dry patch right here, okay, and go over the frame rails right there. This is to clean the solvent out. Make sure that we're getting all the... It's pretty clean, actually. It's not bad. So I'll take care of... that lint stuff will come right off. Not a big deal. Just clean in here a little bit, you know. And wipe this down right here. Yeah, that's pretty good. I think that'd be all right. Yeah, we'll give it one look over again before we reassemble it. But that's pretty much it for the frame. You know, I mean, we'll go over it again and get all the excess oil and stuff off of it later. But and I'll cover oiling here as well once I get rid of the reassemble the gun. So, you know, I think the frame's pretty much done. It's good enough for me. I mean, if I was gonna pack this away for, you know, 6 months, 7 months, I spend a lot more time really getting in there and maybe getting a little more detailed, but I think it's fine where it's at. I don't think there's gonna be any issue right there at all. Let me just get in these corners. Oh, look at that. Oh man, I found some goodies. Found some goodies, man. You gotta get in there. Get in there. All right, so yeah, okay, that's good. We'll put that aside. That's fine. So here's the slide now. It's been soaking for a little bit. It's already got some oil up here, and I'll use dry patch for that because it's been soaked. But back here, it's still untreated, and I'm just going to use my pre-soaked Hoppy's patch. Lay it on top of the slide. Take my trusty brush again, and take it in there and clean that out. Okay. You're doing two things. You're applying a limited amount of solvent to the area without soaking it, and it's also cleaning as you're brushing through there. So that's pretty cool. I'm hoping, yeah, I gotta make sure I stay on frame. Sorry, I'm still new to this whole thing, so I'm trying. I got people asking me to do some stuff, so I'm trying to give them what they want. There's lots of videos out there to clean 1911, but you know, they want me to do it, so I guess I'll do it. I don't mind. You know, if it helps somebody, that's the name of the game. I'm just trying to be helpful to somebody that might need it, you know, because I'm still learning. So I'm just cleaning in here. Right in here, this is your breech face right here. You don't want to soak this with oil because there's your firing pin hole, and oil will get down in there and it'll just collect it, and it could cause some reliability issues for you down the road. So I'll just take my brush with the patch and I'll kind of use some force on this, and I'll hold the patch to the brush, and I'll put it in, then put it down, and then pull it back through so it really pulls the dirt off of there. I can apply some force here. It cleans out the extractor, which is here. This is the external one. And that's one area in traditional 1911s that can be a problem. If you don't if you don't take it apart, which would normally be back here, and pull your extractor out, that channel will fill up with carbon, and it'll actually cause your gun to malfunction because the extractor can't flex anymore when you're loading rounds. The external extractor is supposed to eliminate that. As far as, I mean, that's what I hear. I mean, I don't know. Tell you what, it worked well today. I tested it today, loading. I chambered around and then dropped the mag out, and then fired it with a two-hand grip, normal grip, and then test the extractor to see if it'll extract the round with the magazine out. And it did. I fired 3 magazines like that, and it never failed once. I even tried single-handed semi-weak grip, and it did perfectly. It didn't have a problem whatsoever. So extractor passed the test, man. It did really well. It locked back every time. This pistol, I'll tell you, I'm impressed. I am definitely impressed with Sig. That's all I can tell you. I am impressed with Sig. Okay. This is my first Sig, so that's why I'm kind of happy about it. I wasn't sure what to expect. Okay, so now this portion of the slide is soaked, and you can see right in here. Let me get in here closer a little bit. You can see these channels right here. They can see some carbon in there, right? Well, those channels they interlock with these channels. Okay, and you know they can function still pretty good with some dirt in there, but clean them out. So I'll lay a patch in there like that, right? Just press it in straight. I'll bring my trusty brush in from the front, put it in there, okay, rest it on top of there. When I press down, those bristles are going to force themselves into those channels as I roll it around this way, and it's going to clean that out of there, okay? This is what I do. You know, a lot of guys do all kinds of things, but this is what I do. So, like I said before, you find what works best for you, and you stick to it. It's like if your gun comes clean, that's all that matters. You want to make sure that your gun comes clean and stays reliable for you. That's the name of the game. That's the main goal. I'm not trying to impress anybody with our particular method, or persuade someone to do something a certain way because we think it's better. And what's better for you might not be the best way for somebody else to do it. Everyone has their own approach. So this is just what I do. So a Q-tip in there will help a little bit too if you want to double check it. And I'm putting the Q-tip back down here a little bit again, just getting some of this particulate that's in here out. Sometimes there's some, almost like it's filler in the gunpowder or something that is left behind, and it's mostly in like lower price ammunition, like S&B, MagTech, stuff like that. It leaves doesn't harm anything, but it leaves some particulate behind. Almost looks kind of like cornmeal. At least it does to me anyway. So, and this is your that's back of your firing pin and your firing pin retainer plate, and I always just wipe that down with a Q-tip right there just to clean it up a little bit. But don't need to spend a whole lot of time back there. It looks pretty good. I think it looks okay. Now we haven't done the frame rails yet, where they interlock with the slide rails that go interlocking with the frame, and those have been sprayed. So I'm just going to take a dry patch, and I'll lay it there and take my trusty brush and put it in the channel, because it fits right in there. It's perfect. So put it in there, right, and then drag the patch out. Okay, and that really cleans your frame rails out of there. In 1911, when you got a frame rail that's really, really tight, it's probably a little more critical to get these really, really clean. I mean, I always get them clean, but there you go. Just get them out of there a little bit. And then you take, just for a quick touch up, take your Q-tip right there and just run it in there and get it out of that corner right there. Just look at it, make sure it's decent. All that. So we're at 24 minutes right now. I'm really trying to not make this a long video, but sometimes cleaning can get that way. This is kind of like my happy place, man. I kind of like to get in here and look at my gun, and just kind of where you get to inspect it a little bit and look at it and make sure that it's okay. Put your hands on it and make sure it looks okay. So there's the slide. It's nice and oily. I'm not worried about that. We'll give it a wipe down when we get done. You always want to make sure you try to get in behind your extractor right there, there's a little hook that comes around. You know, just want to make sure that's free of carbon, and I think it is. You can see in there, it looks pretty good. It's not anything bad in there, you know. So there's a little spot right here on the bottom side, but though, we'll go ahead and take care of that. Just put a little Q-tip in there. Yeah, see that right there? Yeah, come out. Just carbon. Carbon buildup can be your enemy. It can cause problems down the road. Okay, so I think that's about it. It looks pretty good. I can get a paper towel and just wipe this down here a little bit to kind of get a look at it. See, I know I talked about it before, but I really like the bevel that's on that slide. Because number one, it doesn't grab a hold of you and hurt you, but it makes putting this slide stop lever back in so much easier. Again, these are things I haven't thought about before because I haven't owned a Sig, so it's something that they do a little bit differently. Oh, you know, I didn't mention before the finish on this gun is nitride. They call it nitron. It's lots of different names. It's been covered by many people, but it's like it's a nitride salt bath. It's a chemical treatment. It's not a coating. It's actually impregnated into the surface of the steel, and it's incredibly hard, and it's very durable, like really durable. You know, if you get like a little scratch on like that, that's just from rubbing against a titanium pocket knife. I had this thing laying next to it, I didn't realize, but that'll come off of there if I wanted to. I really don't care. So, okay, I'm gonna bring the barrel into play here, and along with the other parts. The recoil spring. Also, if you want to do that, you can wipe that down. Not a big deal. So all these small parts right here, you know, I don't want to spend 5 hours on them. You know, all this time the barrel has been soaking internally where all the rifling is at. That's pretty important. That's where you want to get all your carbon and your copper out of it. So there's your barrel bushing. That's all done and fine. I'm just wiping this stuff down, and it's not super filthy, you know. You want to inspect your parts and see what's going on. A lot of times, especially on 10 millimeters, some guys will deal with premature slide lock, and it's because this part is right here is protruding into the frame too far, and the nose of the bullet, as it's feeding up, actually strikes this surface, and it makes it lock during fire. Not a problem with this gun, but it's common. It's actually very common. So you can hit that with a file and fix it up if you know what you're doing. Just be patient with it. So here's your recoil guide rod, recoil spring guide rod, GI style. I find it fascinating. Sig, you can see it or not, but they use a two-piece. I don't know why. I read on forums and they said that people have called them, and the answer that Sig gives is it's proprietary. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. I mean, anyway, so it's a two-piece. So I had to, my first time out shooting this gun, I brought it back home to clean it like I am now, and going over it like I do, I noticed this was unscrewed. So I took it apart, used alcohol on it, cleaned the threads, and put blue Loctite on it. And it hasn't moved since. So there you go. Don't know why I did it, but they did it. So here's the barrel. The outside, I just wipe it down. I mean, that's not filthy. And these locking lugs, the barrel lugs. Just clean those a little bit. And, you can tell a lot about how barrels fit by how the hood right here. How the hood has a nice shine to it right there. There's no gouge marks, but you can tell this is doing some final clearancing. during break-in. That looks really good, man. That's really, really good. It's a good fit. It's a good fit. Precision. Precision. I've owned a couple Kimbers that didn't look that nice when you had, you know, when you had them. So they shot good, and as long as they were shooting, sometimes they malfunction. But you know, I've heard about Wilson Combat's malfunctioning too, so let's not pick on Kimber too much. But they've had their issues, you know. I'm sure Sig has as well. They've had time to perfect this particular model. They've had it out for a while, at least in 45 caliber. I don't know how long the 10 mil's been out. I haven't looked at it much. So anyway, all right. I need to run something through the bore of this thing, so I need to get my cleaning rod here. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? Take this off of here. I'm gonna put a bore brush on here. There you go, a copper one. Just put some. I pre-soak this a little bit with some hoppies. That's good. Let that go. I'm just gonna grab a hold of the barrel like this, nice and firm, and just run it through. Okay, and pull it back. Run it through, pull it back. You know, just do that a little bit. Yeah, it's better. Let's see what the heck I'm doing there. This just helps to break loose some of the copper fouling and carbon billet that's in there. You know, that's probably good actually. Just let me see what come off of it. Yeah, there's some stuff coming off of there. Now I'll just unscrew that. Now I'll put my jag back on there. It's a little plastic jag, nothing fancy. Oh, there's all kinds of cleaning kits out there you can get. This is the handgun cleaning kit. I had this years ago, and it served me well. I've been using it for a long time. And I'm going to double the patches up on this 10 mil because it's bore's big enough. I just want to just take and jam it through there. And there's your first pass. As you can see, there's a lot. Now I'll take this two patch set. I'll just flip it around, put the dirty side up, put it on there, shove it through. You know, it's already getting clean, so I won't reverse this one. That's a little too dirty. I'm gonna run these pre-soak patches through here. Try that. It's tight. There you go. See, it's coming loose. Lots of carbon and stuff is coming out of there. If you want to do a deep clean on it, you can probably soak it with something and let it sit overnight to get it super clean. But I shoot this thing so much that I'll just keep it running. You know, oh, not that way. It's good to push through from the breech end, not the muzzle, because there's a nice crown on that thing. See that? Nice bevel on that thing. You don't want to mess that up. So that's why my jag is plastic and all that stuff. So let's see how it looks right there. Well, looks pretty good, I think. Not bad, right? There we go. Let me run some more dry patches through here. This is where I spend a little bit more time than everywhere else. Just, you know, I'll be probably taking this out, shooting it again in less than a week. So I'm not going to go crazy cleaning this thing spotless. But these patches pass through there very easy now. So yeah, that's good enough. So we'll put this over here out of the way. Keep a trash bag handy when your gun bench if you have one. It makes for easy work. Clean this up right here. Just wiping it down, and you know, when I'm wiping it down, I'll go ahead and I'll look at, you know, the base of the barrel lug right here, the feed ramp. Look at, you know, is it chipped? Is there anything missing? You know, is this pin still in there? Just basic stuff. Just looking for anything, you know. Especially on like a newer gun that I'm not familiar with yet. You know, just look at it and make sure that nothing's breaking on you. Because if your barrel fails, man, that's pretty serious. It's dangerous stuff. You could lose a hand or even kill you. You know. So I think that's pretty good. Let's look here, see what we got. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right, we got the bottom of the feed ramp yet. I didn't clean that real good yet. So, okay, so the barrel's good. Let me go ahead and clean the recoil spring plug. It doesn't really need it. It's not really a friction part, but you know, more like a peace of mind knowing that your stuff's taken care of and you've cleaned it. Okay, I think that is everything. I'll move this. Well, you know what? I'll leave this here. That's fine. You guys get tired of seeing the wood grain tabletop, which, by the way, I'm going to be refinishing it here. I'm going to get some Lexan, probably some smoke gray Lexan, and put that on top of this right here. It's going to look better than this nasty old plywood. So here's the frame. I think it looks pretty good. Let me get a Q-tip and just run over here one more time. Just make sure all my channels are clean. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay. Just make sure it looks good. You know, you can clean behind the hammer here if you want a little bit. This dirt gets in there, you know. It's not going to affect the reliability of the gun, though, but you know it's there. You know it's there, and you want to clean it. You know? Between you and the Lord, you know what's up. All right. So, this gun's like a workhorse for me, so it's not, you know, Safe Queen where I'm going to be all worried about how it's looking. I'm going to put a shock buff back on here again. Let's see, I got a part here. Here we go. Sorry, guys. There we go. Now, I got these. This is a super tough. This is supposed to be better than the Wilson Combat buffs. But, I don't know. One range session and it did. It shredded it. So some guys say using the shock buff is, you know, not really needed, but I figured I'd give it a shot. So put that on there. That's fine. So okay. So here's your slide. Your slide is now clean. It's ready to accept your barrel, which is here. All right. So when your barrel came out, you put it back in. So you make sure that your link is down. Okay. And just slide it through there and let it lock into those channels, those lugs right there. And you can put your barrel bushing back in there again. So you start it over your barrel, okay, and drop it in there. Make sure that little tab right there is in the center, okay. Push it all the way in and just turn it clockwise. Now it's locked in there. You can't pull it out. Okay, you place your guide rod right there. Lift it up. Here's your spring. Okay. All kinds of ways to do this. This is how I do it. Now I'll take my thumb and put it there and hold it. Okay. So now I can take my oil, which is again preference, but I like to use this right here. Thanks to the boys at Dan Wesson, they got me turned on to it. It's a great product. Works really good. So I will take and I will soak the rail here Yeah, pretty good. Probably about 7, 8, 9 drops in there. Same thing with this side. Put it in there, all right? My frame is clean, ready to go. I'll roll it over, okay? You want to start those channels, okay, in the back of the slide right here, like that. So get it started, right? And now it's started, right? Hold this like this, and make sure your safety lever is not up. It's not. And you press it on, okay? Now, you see in here, there's a little hole over here you look through. Sometimes it'll fight you, but you want to get that lug. See that lug right there? You can line up and see in there. All right, right there. It's lined up with the hole now, okay? So you want to take your pin, which by the way, I'll put a drop of oil on that because this is how I roll. So a drop of oil in there, as it passes through, it'll lubricate the surface as it needs to. All right, now it's all the way through the gun, but you know, I left a small gap right there, okay? Here's where you want to be careful, okay? Because the bottom side of this safety catch right here will do a number on your frame, or if you miss, it'll do a number on your slide. Ask me how I know. No, don't ask. You learn the hard way. So you never force it. I've learned that. So you just bring it back again. You want to line up that little half moon cut with the half moon cut on your slide lock lever, okay? Now this is where this extra bevel cut really comes in handy on these SIGs. You take and line it up. You know, I haven't even got to like bring it down here. I used to have to bring it down here, press down and forward at the same time to get to go in there. I haven't got to do that. I put it on top right here, okay, and gently press right in. That's it. I think that extra bevel right there makes that possible. So now it's in. No idiot scratch. I didn't force it, didn't push hard at all, okay? If you're having to force it, stop. Reassess what you're doing and think about it. Press the slide forward, because now the barrel is locked in with this pin, okay? It's going through right there. Put your safety back on, blocks the slide from moving, and you want to stand your gun back up again, okay? Take your recoil spring cup, put it over top. Here, put it back over here. Sorry. Just put it over top of your spring, okay? That's what you gotta do. The camera's kind of close, I'm sorry. So now you want to get a good firm grip on this thing. Okay, as you press it in there, see that? Now I'll turn this bushing to where it just catches the edge of that right there, and let go carefully. So now it's caught the edge, okay? It's holding it. Now you can reset your grip, press down again, and turn it the rest of the way on and lock it in place. It is now assembled, and the frame is lubricated with the slide. So we'll rack it a couple times, okay? Now the oil is on the frame rails, but you need to oil your barrel hood and the front of your barrel. So you take the same oil, put about 4 or 5 drops on there, okay? And just work it through. Now it's on the barrel hood. Lock your slide to the rear. By the way, when I'm locking the slide to the rear, I'll press up on the slide lock lever while pressing back on the slide, and it just locks it in place. In case you didn't know that. A lot of y'all already do, so. Put some oil on the end of the barrel and bring the slide forward. See right there? Yeah. A couple of cycles, take a paper towel, just wipe off some excess oil. It'll come out of the end of the bushing right there. You know, wipe the gun down so you don't, soak yourself. But 1911s like to be oily, man. They like to be oily. Run wet, and I think that's it. So there's your gun is back now from the range. You've cleaned it, you've reassembled it, you've inspected it. The grips didn't come loose on this gun at all, which is a big deal, man. A lot of 1911s, the grips will come loose on you when you're shooting, especially a higher caliber like 10 mil. These grips, they're perfect. They didn't come loose at all. So Really good stuff. Really good stuff. So I think that's it. There's the gun. Cleaned and assembled. What else? What else? What else? I think that's it. Okay, so next video probably going to be in about a week. I'll be taking this baby completely apart all the way down to nothing. Every piece that's in here, to include the grips, grip screws, the trigger, the mag release, everything, and all the parts back in here, the sear, everything. It'll all be apart. It'll be on this bench, and I'll show you how it goes back together again. So nothing to be afraid of on a 1911. Just once you learn how it goes together and how the parts work, it isn't scary anymore, and it becomes fun to tinker with, because John Moses Browning, the man's a genius. So, not to knock on Glocks, okay? Gaston Glock was a genius too. So, hope you enjoyed the video. Sorry for it being so long, but, you know, had to cover what I had to cover. So, y'all take care, and God is good.